from Montgomery County Norristown Public Library, and today we're going to make mug cakes. And mug cake is an individual serving of a cake that you can whip up really quickly with few ingredients in your microwave. So before we get started, let's take care of our kitchen cleanliness. We want to make sure our hands are washed and clean. Our hair is pulled back out of our face and away from having to fiddle with it. We want to wear clothes that aren't going to flop into our food or get caught in anything while we're cooking. We want to make sure there's no jewelry hanging down that we have to fiddle with. Basically nothing that we have to touch. If you have to cough or sneeze, do it in your elbow. If you have to push up glasses, do it with the back of your hand. Anything to keep from getting your hands messed up. So we want to make sure our cooking surface is clean, our work surface. You can use some hot water and dish soap and a clean dishcloth to just clean your counter or your table or wherever you're working. Now, here are the things that you're going to need to make this recipe. The ingredients you're going to need: you're going to need flour, all-purpose flour, white flour. You're going to need sugar. I have sugar in there. Cocoa powder. I'm going to need some baking soda, and some salt. I have kosher salt here, but you can use regular table salt. You don't need very much. Some milk. I have cow's milk here. If you have oat milk or almond milk in your house and you prefer to use that, that's fine. You need 2 tablespoons of oil. I hope I have 2 tablespoons in here. It calls for neutral oil, meaning oil that doesn't have much of a flavor. So this is regular vegetable oil, canola oil, that sort of thing. Olive oil has a strong taste, so you may not want to use that. And some chocolate chips. So the equipment you're going to need a mug. And you're going to need a 12-ounce mug, which means that this regular mug that almost everybody has in their house that is from, some advertiser trying to sell their product, like this bookseller that I got from work. This is a 10-ounce cup, and this is what most people have. You need something a little bit bigger, because 10 ounces, we need a 12-ounce. So you're going to, first of all, fill your cup all the way to the top. And when it bakes, it's going to overflow if you use this size of mug. So you need a bigger mug, or if you don't have a mug this big, if you have a small microwave safe bowl, you could use something like this. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of flour. We're just going to fluff it up a little bit so it's not packed down. And fill up our spoon. Swipe off. You can use a knife for this. It's just me eating my own mug cake, so I'm just using my fingers. It's clean. I washed it. So we have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in there. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of baking cocoa. Same thing. Swipe it off a little bit. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar, which I should have done before I did the cocoa, because then my sugar is going to get all cocoa-y. I'm going to pour it into the spoon so that I don't get cocoa in my sugar container. Flat. Okay. And a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Scoop that up. Scrape it against, if you have a cardboard lip there. Put that in there. And a pinch of salt. And I keep my salt in a salt cellar just so it's easy to do a pinch of. Now we're going to mix all that up till it's well combined. And now we're going to put the wet ingredients in there. So we're going to do our 2 tablespoons of the milk. Now, suppose if you don't have any kind of milk in your house, that you could use just water. We want 2 tablespoons of our oil. And I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, because I tried the recipe last night and I thought it was missing a little something. So I'm just going to put a tablespoon of vanilla, see how that works out. And we're going to mix that all up in there. And make sure you get into the corners at the bottom of the mug. Make sure it's all mixed up until smooth. And the cake battery. That's a little lump at the end. Okay, so you can see pretty well mixed together. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. You might want to wipe your tablespoon off before you do that. Stick it down in with the greasy, milky residue on there. That probably wouldn't be good in your chocolate chips. 1, 2 of those. Okay. All right. Chocolate chips are mixed in there. Now we're going to put it in the microwave for a minute and see what happens. Mug is in there, ready to go. So we're going to set our time, cook time for 1 minute, and then we're going to check it. Okay, so this is after 1 minute. You can see it's still a little shiny here along the edge. We want it to be sort of dull and dry looking. So I'm going to put it in for another 20 seconds. And if you see how the batter rose up as it was cooking all the way to the top of the mug. So you do want to put a paper towel down underneath before you start cooking it, just in case it runs over a little bit. If you don't use a bigger mug. This actually is a 10-ounce mug because the 16-ounce mug was a little too big. So I used a smaller mug just to see, and it works. So I'm gonna stick this in for another 20 seconds and check it after that. Okay, and it has continued to cook. That shiny part has disappeared now, and we're gonna give this a try. That tastes pretty good. And you could put some ice cream on there, some whipped cream, and make it even better. So enjoy your chocolate mug cake. And bon appetit. I need a glass of milk now.